Hey guys and welcome to my channel. Today we are doing, what if Deku was a villain? I've never met someone like you, but I'm glad I did. Pray you'll have a quirk in your next life, and take a swan dive off the roof. And so Izuku did, but instead of dying he got saved by the villains. Izuku is now known to the public as Deku. And for the past 2 years Deku has been the world's most dangerous and violent villain. But will one little kidnapping of a certain gravity quirk girl change his mind? This is my first story and it is a Izuchi story, and for some reason I like villain Deku x hero Ochako. Sorry if there are some spelling mistakes or errors in the story, or if the story is trash, please give me feedback. With that out of the way, let's begin this what if. Can you tell us what happened? Mina asked. Flashback to the night in town a month and 2 weeks ago. Ochako sat on the chair, waiting for Izuku. Until her wish is granted and saw the door open and Deku walking through it. Hey Ochako! He cheerfully greeted her with a smile. Someone's happy today. She greeted him. Yeah. I got something for us to do today. I have to go into town today and do something, but after that, we can run around town and act like we're 10-year-olds again. Deku said with a big smile on his face, leaning on the wall with his hands in his pocket. Ochako giggled at the explanation for tonight. Sounds like a plan. She got up out of the chair. Time skip. Ochako and Izuku walked up to the rundown building. Here is the job. Deku says in a serious manner, kneeling behind a bush. Ochako, doing the same. What are you going to do? Asks Ochako. Hee, what do you think? Deku smiles wickedly. By the way you're laughing, I'm going to guess either Murd 3R or R at PE. Ochako said bluntly. Deku made a dumbfound look at Ochako for her second guess, causing Ochako's mind to start turning. Wait, did I get it right? Are you actually going to R at PE the person here? Ochako asked, scooting away from Izuku. No, I just didn't think you would guess that. I thought you were going to just guess Murd 3R. Deku says, trying to make her stop scooting away from him. Oh, she said, scooting back to him. So you're going to Murd 3R, the person? She says. No, I just wanted you to think I was going to Murd 3 or someone. Deku smiles. Are you being sarcastic? Ochako looked back at him, raising an eyebrow. No, I'm being serious. He replied. Then what are we doing here? Ochako asked, focusing back on the house. Izuku's smile grew wider. Ochako glanced at Deku, noticing his smiling growing wider. What are we going to do, Deku? She asked in a worried tone. We are going to pretend to be kids on Halloween. Deku answered with a smile. Are we going to trick or treat this house? Ochako deadpanned. Ha, good one, but no. Deku took off the bag that he was wearing and opened it, taking out 3 cartons of eggs. OMG, I figured out what we're doing. Ochako said. Yep, you gonna join in? Deku said with a big smile. I thought this would be in town? Ochako raised her brow. We can egg the shops too, Deku answered. Ochako sighed and took an egg. You want to go first? Deku asked, also grabbing an egg. Ochako smiled. Reeled back her arm, aimed and fired. The egg made a splat sound as it made contact with the wood. I'm proud of you, Deku said as he stared at the splattered egg. Ochako giggled at the comment and took another egg. Deku reeled back his arm and threw his egg, leaving the same sound and same image after it landed on the wood. They kept doing this until they were all out of eggs. They laughed as they ran off the land. But they made it out just in time for the owners of the property to make it back home. They hid in another bush as they watched the landowner rage at what they did to their house. Deku and Ochako shared a laugh and ran off the property. Ha, did you see that dude? He stopped his foot. Deku said. Throwing laughter, mimicking what the guy did. Ha, sure, but did you see his face? Ochako replied, mimicking the man's scrunched up face. Deku looked at Ochako and laughed even harder at the face she was making. Once they finally got themselves to stop laughing, they started walking through town. I thought you said we would be able to egg these buildings too. Ochako asks, pointing towards the building. Yeah, we will once we get more eggs. Deku said, looking at the buildings. Doubt it. Ochako said, looking at the sideway ahead of them. Deku chuckled and looked up at the sky. The sun was almost gone and the moon was almost up. Deku can see a couple of stars in the sky. It's almost night, can you believe that? Deku said in a calm voice. You're a nice and calm guy from time to time. Can you believe that? Ochako replied, also looking up at the sky. A small smile made its way to Deku's face and his eyes softened after that comment from Uraraka. I'm glad it was you. Deku whispered, What? Sorry, I couldn't quite hear that. Ochako asked. Deku's eyes widened. Oh, you weren't supposed to hear that. I was just talking to myself. Deku's cheeks go red. Ochako looks at him and giggles. Yeah, it's totally normal for a cold-hearted beast to talk to himself. Ochako said. Is that really how you view me? Deku said and pointed to himself. It's not just me. Ochako exclaimed. Deku looks at the ground in shame. Hey Deku, you want to go into that store right there? Ochako asks, grabbing Deku's arm and pointing at a store. After a lot of blushing and unlinking arms, the two finally made their way inside. Whoa! Ochako said. Amazed by the store's interior, Deku didn't care, but was happy that Ochako was happy. Never been to a place like this before? Deku asked Ochako from next to her, pulling down her little face mask. No, never. Must be an expensive place. Ochako says, taking a big look around the place. Huh, Deku replied. After about an hour of looking and messing around the place, they finally make it back outside due to the store's closing, 11 p.m. to be precise. Hey Deku, it's getting pretty late. Don't you think that we will get caught? Ochako asked Deku. They currently walk down the empty sidewalk of downtown. Get caught doing what? Deku smiles and looks down at Ochako. You know, sneaking out. Ochako says, looking up at Izuku. Deku chuckles. Don't be paranoid, if we get caught then screw it, we're moving out. The two make their way into walking in the middle of the road. Don't you think it's prettier out in the middle of the road? Deku says, looking at the light-up signs from the buildings. Ochako only nodded her head. Hey, guess what I got? Deku says, looking at Ochako. What? She looks back at him. Deku takes off his back and reaches in. Ochako's eyes widen as she sees a carton of eggs get dragged out of the bag. Yeah, up for it? Deku asked, holding out the eggs for her. A large smile makes its way to her face as she opens the carton and takes an egg. This time, it's your time to go first, and please tell me you have more eggs. Ochako says. Deku just looks at her and smiles. Look in the bag. Ochako leans down and looks into the bag and sees 3 more cartons of eggs. Deku reels back his arm and fires an egg at a building. Ochako does the same after him. The pattern of throwing eggs just keeps going until all 4 cartons are empty and buildings are covered in eggs. The 2 teens look at their masterpiece until a shop worker that was still on shift comes out. Takes one glance at the egged building and starts running towards the 2. Oh sure, come on. Ochako takes Deku's hand and starts running down the street that was lit with streetlights. They kept running until they saw that they were no longer getting chased. Ochako smiles and starts to laugh. Deku starts laughing along. They didn't know why they were laughing, but they just went with the flow. Deku gives a good look at what was in front of them. It was a clear field, some flowers rising out of the nice green grass. The field had a pretty view of the starry sky above them. Deku walks onto the field and sits down, Ochako shortly joining him. Beautiful, isn't it? Deku asks, breaking the silence between them. Yeah. Then the silence was back. It wasn't an awkward one though, it was a little comfortable. So the two sat back and enjoyed it. They stayed like this for a while. Then Ochako got sleepy. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't stay awake and ended up falling onto the grass and passing out. Oh, Ochako? Are you okay? Deku asked, worried for her. When he got no response, he quickly turned to her and didn't see her. Then he looked down, and everything made sense. He also lied down. All he did was stare at her for the rest of the time there, until he finally brought her back to the building, though it took all his willpower to peel his eyes off of her. He thought she looked cute asleep, though isn't creepy to watch someone sleep. That was the night in town, though it didn't sound that fun. It's fun once you experience it for yourself. Back to the present time, Ochako sighed after telling the story. Is it possible to believe but not believe someone at the same time? Mina asked. I don't know. I do remember going outside into town one day and seeing half of the shops egged to death, Jiro answered. Wow. What in the hell did you do to earn that kind of respect from Deku? Toru asked. She knows the answer. Ochako may have acted like it, but she never forgot the crush Deku had on her. I mean, would you forget a time that a dangerous sociopath told you that they liked you? I think not. Ochako, do you trust Deku? Sue asked. Ochako considered this question for a bit. Well, I guess. Ochako timidly answered. What is your opinion on him? Sue asked another question. Well, I don't think he is as bad as he seems. Sure, he may act like a cold-hearted beast sometimes, but he really is a nice caring guy. He is sweet and kind. He's a great, strong, kind of hot, cinnamon roll, cute guy. Ochako realized what she just said, blushed, and covered her mouth. Did she just say that? Toru asked Mina. I knew it. I knew something was up when we got you from Deku, Mina said. I think there is some sort of Stockholm syndrome going on over there. Sue said. Ochako couldn't believe what they were saying. Stockholm syndrome? What's that? She just didn't know what to do. Third POV, it was a normal day for everyone in Class 1A. Some are happier and more energetic than others. Todoroki is Todoroki and Bakugo is Bakugo. Everyone else is socializing. The girls are gathered around Uraraka's desk and most possibly talking about Deku. Kaminari, Shiro, and Kirishima are planning ways on how to piss off Bakugo. Ida, well, that's complicated. Ida isn't really being Ida right now. He heard one of the girls say the name Deku and started trying to eavesdrop. So far the only thing Ida can think of is revenge. I'm starting to worry for Ida. Ever since his brother died, he hasn't really been the same. Ochako stated. Yeah, but the problem right now is you. Mina said, pointing at Ochako. Ochako furrowed her brows and looked away from Mina. Oh come on, Stockholm Syndrome isn't that bad, said Jiro, the only one who isn't making a big deal out of Ochako's crush on the dangerous villain. Oh really? What do you think will happen when they have to fight each other on the battlefield? Mina asked. From the sounds of the story, I think Deku took a liking to her, Sue stated. Right. The one and only Deku taking a liking to someone. He could have been just fooling her. Mina said. Ochako stayed quiet, for she was too busy thinking about Ida's situation. Besides, she knew Sue was right, he took a big liking to her. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day that Deku's plan is going into action. You can say that he was a little nervous, but all in all, he was excited. He was ready. Izuku kinda wanted to start now, but he has to stick to the plan. Or else it won't work. He has to be patient. Deku knew that Ida would come and visit. As a matter of fact, he doesn't think he will have to wait for tomorrow. It's as long as Ida pays him a visit. Ochako, Ida, and Uraraka were walking home from school. Do you perhaps remember where you and Deku were while you were kidnapped? I'm sorry if this is a sensitive subject for you. Ida asked as politely as he could. Ochako looked at Ida, then at the ground. Yeah, she remembered, but she was deciding if she should tell him or not. That depends on why you are asking. Ochako turned to Ida. Ida wonders how to answer this question for a little while. Then comes up with an answer. I just want to look over the site, for the heroes so they can get Deku. Ida answers. Ochako looks around, thinking if she should give him Deku's whereabouts. I don't know Ida, he is dangerous. Look, how about I just give the heroes the address, and you can calm down, Ochako replied. If he was dangerous, then you wouldn't have been here right now. Ida defends himself. Ida, I'm here right now because he didn't want to kill me. Achiko says, wondering why Ida is all of a sudden getting defensive. Look, just give me the address so I can help get Deku. Ida is trying not to sound pushy. Achiko looks off to the side and gives Ida the address, and if you ever decide to go there, be careful, Deku isn't the only one who lives there, Achiko warned, only for Ida to ignore her. And again, Deku is dangerous. Achiko muttered, knowing that Ida doesn't have a clue on what she just said. Ida walks the rest of the way home and looks at the address that he got from Achiko. He wrote it down. He knew that he had to prepare, he knew that no heroes were going to be there to save him. The next day, hippity hoppity, Ida's body is now my property. That was what's going on inside Deku's head right now, well, more or less. Anyway, Deku was currently sharpening his knives. He doesn't know when Ida is going to show up, but he is ready for when he does. So Deku is on the roof, looking for any signs of Ida. So in the meantime, he got dressed into his normal green and black suit and vest with nice plain black dress pants. Deku walks back into the bar after sharpening all of his 20,000 knives. I'm being over dramatic, he doesn't have 20,000 knives. Hey, if I were you guys, I would ditch the bar right now. And don't come back, said Deku. Why? Asked Dabi from the couch. Deku is pretty sure that there is a butt print on the Dabi cushion on the couch that matches the size on Dabi's butt. Well, I am being hunted down by a hero, and he has my location, which is right over here. Deku says, leaning against the wall, what? You gave away our location? Shigaraki begins to furiously scratch his neck. No, I didn't. Our ex-hostage did, Deku said. Shigaraki looked at Deku. Then continued scratching his neck. This is your fight, I'm out. Shigaraki ditched. Soon everyone followed, 5 hours later. This is a Deku thought as he saw Ida on the sidewalk making his way to the bar. Deku jumped down from the roof he was on and into an alleyway. Psst, Ida, Deku whispered from the alley. Ida stopped walking and looked into the alley. Knowing Deku was there, Ida walked in. He looked around, revenge filling his head, blocking out the fear. HM. The giggling was enough for fear to get stronger. Why did you come find me, Tenya? Ida froze. Come out, Deku. Ida yelled. Ida stood in a defense pose, ready for whatever Deku was going to throw his way. No thanks. Deku went back on the roof. He really enjoyed scaring the tar out of Ida, so why would he end that fun now? Ida looked around the alley, hoping to find Deku somewhere in there. With each glance in the alley, Ida got more fired up. Why not, may I ask? Ida asked. Deku stared at Ida with a shit-eating grin. No, you can't ask. Deku replied, trying not to laugh. Ida was getting tired of this little game Deku was playing. Just come down here so I can avenge my brother. Ida got angry, he just wants to get revenge for what Deku did to his brother. Deku got a little surprised when Ida yelled. When Deku knew Ida for that one day, Ida was calm and collective. No yelling, no being rude, kind, helping hand, he was Ida. Not this Ida. And Deku is going to take advantage of this. Deku was going to pull Ida's strings. His plan was working. Oh, avenge your brother? So you're telling me that you're here right now, so you can get revenge? Deku sat on the top of the roof, his feet hanging off the edge. You are no hero, and I hope you see that. Deku confidently said, jumping down and standing in front of Ida. Ida growled and stared at Deku. So you're a dog now? Deku jokes, but didn't dodge in time for a fist on the face by none other than Tenya. Who are you to say who a hero is and isn't? Ida snapped. I think I broke him. Thought Deku, on the ground looking up at Ida in amazement. Ida ran up to Deku and kicked him in the face. Deku flew back and hit his head on a wall. He fell to the ground and didn't get back up, making Ida think that he was knocked out. Ida was sure that Deku was knocked out, so he walked up to Deku and picked him up. He was going to turn Deku in. I have avenged my brother was the last thought of Tenya Ida before he went to sleep, never to wake up again. Tenya Ida, a kind-hearted man who always followed the rules, wanted to walk in his brother's footsteps in becoming a hero, died by knife to the throat. The class walked out of the cemetery, tears falling out of the eyes of those who were close to him. Tears threatening to fall from those who knew him. The class was honest, they knew they were going to miss his ways. Getting yelled at for sitting on a desk. All the questions he asked. The way he would never let you lose focus on an assignment. And the class was sad that he was never able to be calm and have fun. The class was sad about the last few days of his life. They were the worst few days of his life, so he died by Deku, asked Aizawa. Aizawa, the sleepy carefree teacher, secretly cares for his students. Big news. Anyway, after the death and funeral of Tenya Ida, the teachers decided to hold a meeting to talk about Deku. They took notice of the fact that the press thinks it's the end of the world and that Deku has taken down several of Hero's quirkless. So they know more than anyone to not take Deku as a joke. After all, he may be quirkless, but that bastard knows how to take them all down. Okay, this is getting out of hand. Currently all the students are gathered in the common room of the dorms and Kaminari decided to pace around the room and start a conversation. What is getting out of hand? Asked Siro. Kaminari stopped pacing and looked at Siro. Deku. Denki shouted. He is going to kill us all and it is starting with Ida. Kaminari started to cry. Look, no one is going to die. Achiko tried to calm Denki. How do you know? Siro yelled from the couch in the common room. Everyone is sitting, except for Kaminari due to pacing back and forth. Well, Achiko started. They all looked at her. Did he tell you his plans? Kaminari asked her. No, she might be working for him. Siro accused, pointing at her. No. I'm not working for him. Achiko exclaimed, now that she thinks about it, it's all her fault that Ida died. Achiko gave Ida the address, but she thought that he was going to take Heroes with him. She should have known better. Deku did kill Ida's brother. Look, I think it's my fault he died. Achiko stated. Everyone was surprised. What do you mean? Ida's death has nothing to do with you. Kirishima said. No, but it does. You see, Ida forced me to give him Deku's address. I should have known better and just given him a fake address. Achiko looked down at her lap in shame. Everyone was surprised. What do you mean forced you? Mina asked. Well, he wouldn't stop yelling at me until I gave it to him, Achiko said. He yelled at you? Toru was very surprised at this. I told you guys that he wasn't being himself. Achiko told them. The girls groaned. Look, Uraraka, it wasn't your fault. Ida was mad and wasn't thinking straight. It's okay, Kirishima comforted, with everyone else agreeing with him. Shota Aizawa, also known as Eraserhead. Deku thought, targeting who to go after next. Without him, the class is just sheep without shepherds. Then he can get the rest of those no-good puny heroes. Deku was going to eliminate them all, one by one. That's it for this part. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. If you want more, like this video, hit that notification bell, and maybe even give a comment on your thoughts on the video. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.